I love this story so much. It's a store that literally started selling dynamite to miners and loggers in 1962.
I guess it's when people that I've learned from start asking me questions, which is very cool, but it's also very scary at the same time, and it's kind of a new sense of responsibility. So it started as a joke. Our managers have joked around hardware sales sells everything, but we don't sell beer. We have breweries on every corner around our store. They were like, this would be awesome. And that's kind of how the Hazy Contractor was born. And it was kind of just a fun, weird passion project. I don't like to put myself in a box. If I have a weird idea that seems insane, I usually try to figure out how to make it happen. And I would say our customers appreciate the weird stuff. Don't be afraid to think out of the box.
Welcome to the Grit Blueprint Podcast. I'm your host, Stephanie Couch. This is the spot where leaders talk about the stories, strategies, and systems that win in the building industry. We unpack how leaders and brands build their reputations and become unmistakable.
Thank you for being here today. We are going to be doing an event where we're going to be doing a series of 4 fireside chats with 4 incredible women who are moving the industry forward, all different backgrounds and stories. And we are going to start today with my first guest, Brookelyn McClellan. And I want to give an intro for each guest to tell you a little bit about their background. So Brookelyn actually is a 4th generation in her family hardware store, Hardware Sales, in Bellingham, Washington. It's a store that literally started selling dynamite to miners and loggers. I love this story so much. In 1962, I want to know, we'll get to this. Do you still sell dynamite, and can I find some and get it? Because that sounds like a lot of fun. Since then, you have grown this into a multi-million-dollar operation spanning 6 city blocks, and you have a major e-commerce business, which is a very intriguing part of their business, a totally separate revenue stream. She was named the 2025 NHPA Young Retailer of the Year, and she has grown their social media from 0 to thousands of followers in under a year. She has amazing projects going on in the community, including partnering with craft beer vendors in their local town and some wine people too, to white label products. And she is really making this the heartbeat of their community. So welcome, Brookelyn. Thank you so much. And you won an award last night, so congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And I want to start with asking you a question. You grew up in the hardware store. I also did, and I know there was a lot going on, and I had a lot of thoughts. What is one thing that you now realize that you really didn't think of as a kid that maybe was happening in the business that was pretty sophisticated that now you see oh, wow, there's a lot that goes into that?
I think probably something I learned when I was pretty young from my dad and my grandpa was just how to talk to people and how to greet customers and just customer service. I mean, it is this very simple concept, but very complex at the same time.
Yes.
I feel like I learned that pretty young.
That's such a good skill too, because no matter what you did in life, it would have been a great skill to have, but it definitely helps you in the retail hardware business. I'm sure you have some fun stories about growing up in the store and some of the things you got to experience. Was there a moment when you kind of started working in the business that you went from oh, hey, I work here to, oh, I'm responsible for the next generation, and kind of what happens is sort of partially at least on you?
Yeah, I would say this has been more of a recent thing for me. And I guess it's when people that I've learned from start asking me questions, which is very cool, but it's also very scary at the same time. And it's kind of a new sense of responsibility.
Yeah.
But it's been really cool and very gratifying.
Do you find that because you're doing something like social media that maybe isn't traditionally something that people that are in the business know about, that they're coming to you for things like that and you're kind of the expert in-house?
Yes.
That's awesome.
I would say they kind of they put up with me and my weird things that I ask of them, but they do great.
Are you also the craft beer expert in-house? I'm sure they love that you're bringing in amazing beers to the store.
Yes.
That's great. Well, you guys have been, I want to touch on the Dynamite story just really quick. So tell me just a little bit about how this thing got started, because you're selling dynamite to loggers and miners in 1962. So was that really what it was for, was supply for those people?
Yeah. The stories that I've heard my entire life is how our business started was selling dynamite off of picnic tables.
Oh, wow.
To the logging industry and the miners. And it kind of just has grown as hardware sales does. We kind of just start adding on different things. And We were actually in the building across the street from the one we're in now.
Okay.
And when we moved to our new facility, we changed our name from Powder Sales, which was our original name,
It's pretty cool.
to Hardware Sales. And then we got more into the hardware industry.
I love it. That's really cool. And I think that it's always fun when someone sees a problem in the market and decides to be the one that says, I can solve it. And it sounds like your family did that and is still doing that every single day. Well, we are here at NHS C2C, and your family business has actually started to bring in a white label line. So I want to talk a little bit about that. Will you tell me about that line, what it is, and what you're going to have in it, and how a show like this kind of goes into that?
Yeah, we actually started this process last year at this show. Kind of gave us the jump start into thinking this is something that we wanted to do. And so we have a brand now. It's called Ultimax. That's the Hardware Sales private label brand. And we started actually by ordering in tarps and cones and delineators, and those. We kind of tested it out, see how it went. And this show really, like, we found a lot of stuff that we're interested in, and we're really planning on expanding our wholesale line.
That's amazing. And you guys are not only selling in your store, but you have an e-commerce brand, which we're going to talk about in a minute. And I think having those options is really a great way to just branch out into what you're doing. When you're deciding on bringing in products and you're thinking about whether it's a private label or bringing it in under another brand, what are you thinking about with a partner? What does the process look like? What matters? What maybe doesn't matter? What are you thinking about?
Well, for us, we're very price sensitive, so we're looking to kind of where we can save to pass on better pricing to our customers. We also look for things that aren't like brand sensitive.
Mhm.
That's a big thing too, and things that we sell like heavy, like bulk.
Okay, so you're thinking about commodity items that maybe you sell a ton of that you could make more margin or have a better brand if it's yours. Do you have people that are coming in asking for your brand, for the private label brand yet?
Not yet.
So you got to keep working, and I know that'll happen. Cody was talking yesterday, gave a great talk on private label, and was talking about, some of the brands like Kirkland, and he was giving some stories from his background. And I think it's really magical when people start asking for your stuff, and Kirkland's is a great example. Well, I want to talk about the beer. So that was something fun that I thought was really unique that you're doing. So you co-branded with some craft beers, 4 different ones, and 2 wines in Bellingham. And I want to hit on these names because they're so fun. The Hazy Contractor, the Lawnmower Beer. Do you drink that while on the lawnmower? Is that legal?
That is the idea, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Claw Hammered beer, and then Max Rips. And then you have a Tool Fair beer. And you also have a Tool Fair t-shirt. Tell me about this Tool Fair. Is this something that happens at your store?
Yeah, it's our biggest event that we do of the year. It's like our huge blowout power tool sale. We have reps come from all different states and different places, and we basically block off a huge portion of our parking lot. Everybody comes in and we do a huge 2-day event. It's very community friendly, and it's a lot of fun.
So when you partner with these local breweries and wineries, tell me about your process. What gave you that idea? How was it I want to know what it was like pitching your family this idea.
So it started as a joke.
Okay.
Our managers have joked around like Hardware Sales sells everything, but we don't sell beer.
Yeah.
And so it kind of, that joke just we have breweries on every corner around our store. So one of our managers was talking with the owners of Stemma, the first local brewery that we partnered with. And they were like, this would be awesome. And that's kind of how the Hazy Contractor was born. And it was kind of just a fun, weird passion project.
Wow. That's so cool. And now do you have a bestseller? Which one sells the best?
Hands down, the Hazy Contractor.
Hazy Contractor. Okay. What kind of beer is it? I need to know details.
It's a hazy IPA.
Okay. Hazy IPA. So if you're interested and you're in Bellingham and you want to go buy some tools and drink some beer, you got your girl right here. Well, you've also done other things like you've had some gym collabs, different mountain biking trails. So when you're thinking about community, I think community is really important in local businesses, especially like yours, which is a family business and people are coming in from the community. What's your philosophy there? And what are you looking for? What are you trying to accomplish? And how do you measure whether it's successful or not with a collaboration?
So I don't really ever say no to a collaboration. If a local business or a nonprofit reaches out to us, I like to be involved with as much as we can.
Mm-hmm.
So usually it's just if somebody reaches out or we have a weird idea of wanting to collaborate with somebody, we kind of just make it happen.
That's awesome. Any new ones that are in the works that you can share?
We are coming out with our first cider.
Ooh, okay. I love a cider. I don't actually like beer, but I do love cider, so I'll have to come check that out. Well, I want to talk about your award last year. So the NHPA is known for helping businesses all over that are small retailers and medium-sized retailers, really independents, grow their business. And I'm sure that's been a big part of it. You won an award for social media, correct? The Young Retailer of the Year?
Yes.
Okay. And tell me a little bit about that. What was that like winning that award? And what type of leadership of building yourself, like getting to the point where you're doing these amazing things in a business that was your family? What are the most important parts of that?
Well, winning the award last year was super crazy. When Cody called me, I didn't believe him. But yeah, it's awesome. And it was kind of like, that was kind of like a whoa, like a wake up call. I was like, I felt very like an adult. I don't know.
Yes.
But yeah, building our team, it's been so fun, and kind of just like growing up in the business and just seeing it from all the different sides, I would say is really cool. And just getting to be there for our people is just amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, when you're thinking about family businesses, relationships are there. There's a lot of personal stuff that goes on. The stakes are high. You've been around since 1962. You don't want to be, I know I hear from a lot of family businesses that they don't want to be the generation that lets it stop. So what's exciting you about the business? Can you tell me a little bit more about the e-commerce side of things?
Yeah, so our e-commerce division, it's fairly separate from us. It's called Oncada. They run by very lean philosophies. Essentially what we are is we are a third-party seller on Amazon, and then we also do brand management for free. So we manage brands like, we're the #1 chicken feed seller on Amazon.
So cool.
We manage brands like Starrett, Fine Tool, Diablo, and we basically just optimize their brands so it's selling to the full extent that it can. And then we kind of help get sellers that aren't supposed to be selling their product on Amazon take it down.
Wow. So you're really doing two different things. I mean, that's a whole different business, the segment there, but you found a way to grow without having to do it brick and mortar, which I think is great because that's not always the right answer to expanding the business. So I love that you're doing something non-traditional. And how are you thinking about kind of the next generation of your businesses? Is that a big focus on how you will grow the business?
Yeah, I would say probably our internet is the fastest growing division that we have, that in our rental department. We just try to stay pretty diversified. We do a lot of just weird different things. It's kind of the hardware sales way.
I love that. For someone I get to ask a lot with social media specifically, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to post. You obviously grew your brand pretty quickly in a very short span of time. What would you tell someone who is a person or a brand that's trying to grow on social media, like where to start? What would your advice be to them?
I would say not to. I don't like to put myself in a box. If I have like a weird idea that seems insane, I usually try to figure out how to make it happen. And I would say like our customers appreciate the weird stuff. So it's like, don't be afraid to think out of the box.
Yeah, be weird is like a life slogan for me too. And I think that's served me really well. And we're all weird in our own way. You know, everybody has your little quirks and your things that just make you you. And if you show that, people love that. They love that about you. So I think that's great advice. Well, what is one thing that you want people to know about what you're building at Hardware Sales and about you that maybe they wouldn't know?
So many people think that we've gotten larger because we are a pretty big hardware store, but we're still just your mom and pop shop.
Yeah.
And we treat every customer that walks through the door like family. And I hope that it will always be that way.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. You're incredible, and I'm excited for what you're going to do next.
Thank you for listening to the Grit Blueprint podcast. If this episode helped you think a little differently about how to show up, share it with someone in your building world who needs it. If you're ready to turn visibility into growth, then head to gritblueprint.com to learn more and book a call to talk to us about your growth strategy. Until next time, stay unmistakable.